I love God with all my heart. I grew up in the church, and I love God with all of my heart. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be in the position that I am. I never asked for it, but I walk in what God wants me to do. I walk in whatever place He places me, that I want to walk in excellence. No matter what I do, I want to walk in excellence.
Amen.
And I want to walk in integrity, but most of all, I want you to see the love of God that is on my life. And I love Him so much. I'm going to share this morning Acts, the 27th chapter, 27 through 28. And we're going to start there with the 27th verse. And what I do, I just read. If you want to stand, you can stand. If you want to look up on Google, as I'm preaching and see if I'm saying the right thing, you can go ahead and do that. You can reference check me, whatever you want to do. I don't mind you using technology as I'm preaching. If you just got the Bible, that's fine too. That's fine too. On the 14th night, we were still being driven across the Adriatic Sea, when about midnight the sailors sensed they were approaching land. Going to verse 28. They took soundings and found that the water was 120 feet deep. A short time later, they took soundings again and found it was 90 feet deep. Verse 29. Fearing that they would be dashed against the rocks, they dropped 4 anchors from the stern and prayed for daylight. Verse 30, in an attempt to escape from the ship, the sailors let the lifeboat down into the sea, pretending they were going to lower some anchors from the boat. Then Paul said to the centurions and the soldiers, unless these men stay with the ship, you cannot be saved. Right. Verse 32, so the soldiers, they put down the lifeboat and let it drift away. Just before dawn, Paul urged them all to eat for the last 14 days. He said he urged them all to eat for the last 14 days. He said, you have been in constant suspense and have gone without food. You haven't eaten anything. Verse 34, now I urge you to take some food you needed to survive. Not one of you will lose a single hair from your head. 35, after he said this, he took some bread and gave thanks to God in front of them all. And he broke it and began to eat. Verse 36 of Acts 27. They were all encouraged and ate some food themselves. Verse 37 of Acts, the 27th verse. And now we're on verse 37. Altogether, there were 276 of us on board. When they had eaten as much as they wanted, they lightened the ship by throwing the grain into the sea. When daylight came, they did not recognize the land, but they saw a bay with a sandy beach, where they decided to run the ship aground if they could. Verse 40. Cutting loose the anchors, they left them in the sea, and at the time united the ropes, untied the ropes. They untied the ropes and held the rudders. Then they hoisted the foresail to the wind and made for the beach. But the ship struck a sandbar and ran aground. The bow stuck fast and would not move. And the stern was broken in pieces by the pounding of the surf. The soldiers planned to kill the prisoners to prevent them from swimming away and escaping. But the centurion wanted to spare Paul's life and kept them from carrying out their plan. He ordered those who could swim to jump overboard first and get to land. The rest were to get there on planks or other pieces of the ship. In this way, everyone reached safety.
All right.
And I love this story, and the subject is going to be taken from the 44th verse, but I love this part. It says, the rest were to get there on planks or any other pieces of the ship.
Right.
In this way, everyone reached land safely. I hope you don't mind just one second, if you can just go to somebody, I don't do the clap your hand, shake your neighbor, push them down, run around the road. I don't do that. Only thing I do in the beginning is I have you to go to somebody, at least 3 people, and tell them what the subject is. And you are to say, I'm shipwrecked, but I'm holding on to the planks. I'm shipwrecked, but I'm holding on to the planks. It doesn't matter what it looks like, where you've been. You might have money in your pocket. You might have nothing, but I'm shipwrecked and I'm holding on to the planks. I don't care what your mama said about you. I don't care what your daddy said about you. I don't care how many times you have failed. But you know, I am shipwrecked, but I am holding on to the planks. I don't care what my neighbor says. I don't care what my coworkers are trying to do. You might have a job. You might be unemployed. You might be homeless, but still, just say, I'm shipwrecked, but I'm still holding on to the planks. You can go ahead and look at me now. Look at me now. It don't matter what you see, but I can see what God is getting me to. I'm holding on to the shipwreck. I'm holding on to the plank. When it was decided that they would sail to Italy, and they had to call some other prisoners over Julius. Here in the officer of Rome army, we remind them to call the emperors of the regiment. They sailed slowly. They sailed slowly several days, and without great difficulty finally arrived off the town of Cindus. And the wind would not let them go further down the sheltered side. Sometimes we are just going how the ship was just sailing slowly. Sometimes we are going along life, and our plans sometimes just get interrupted. A wind comes, a storm comes. God, I didn't expect this report from the doctor. God, I didn't expect to get this note from my employer. I got a phone call, or you got a letter, or you got a text that totally interrupted where I was going. You might have been in a car accident like I was May 14th. I was in a car accident, but I'm standing here well healed and delivered in Jesus' name. They pulled it aboard and fastened some of the ropes that tied around the ship. They were afraid that they might run into a sandbank. I don't know what you're trying to do or where you're trying to go, but I can tell you right now, do not be afraid of the sandbanks. Don't be afraid of the things that might come against you, because we serve a God that is real, that can do anything but fail. Our God is omnipotent and He is everlasting. So do not be afraid of the sandbanks. Even in this here, if you want to change, you have to let God have His way. Let God have His way and say, I surrender. The violent storm continued. So on to the next day, they begin to throw some things away, throw things out. The storm is here. God comes in a way that says, you know what? I need to let go of this hatred. I need to let go of this bitterness. I need to let go of the backbiting and gossiping. I got to let some things go, because there's a destination that I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to get to the shore. And the only way to get there, I just got to let some things go. I've got to walk in the spirit of forgiveness. Somebody said, Janice, how is it that you're so easily to forgive? It's because my mother taught me when we were kids. She said, you better say you're sorry. You better say you forgive her before the sun goes down. Jeanette, you grew up in a large family too. We grew up in a large family. Always had some kind of conflict, but we learned to say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And it wasn't just, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It was sincere. Because when I said I'm sorry to my sisters, I would cry, and I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. You know? And so that has carried over into my adulthood, that I quickly say, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Because I know that is something that's going to hold my blessings back. And I don't want anything to hold back the blessings of God on my life. So I learned to walk in the spirit of forgiveness. Even if you didn't do anything, even if you didn't know that you did maybe stepped on my foot. Oh, I did. I didn't realize, but I'm sorry. Please forgive me and move on and keep the relationship with your brothers and sisters. Because that is important to have a relationship with your brothers and sisters. For many days we would not see the sun or the stars. Have you ever been in a place and said, God, when is the sun going to shine? God, when am I going to see daylight? God, when is my blessing coming? God, when is it going to be my season? I've been faithful and I've been working, and sometimes your storms can be so bad that you just want to give up. I just want to turn around. This is too much. I didn't know that I was going to get into this. I didn't know that I was going to have people that were going to turn their backs on me. Even my title as suffragan bishop. There's some people that believe, oh, I should have that title. Why do you got that title? I don't know why I got it. It's just the favor of God that's on my life. I can't explain it. I don't know. I just got the call and just said, we're going to make you suffragan bishop. And I said, Lord, I thank you for the favor, and I will walk in this office with integrity and with love and with the power of God. The scripture says, he that knows God knows love. He that knows not God knows not love. I know God, so I want you to know that I'm walking in the love of God, that God is real. He is no respecter of person, that he loves us all just the same, regardless of your economic status, regardless of where you've come from, regardless of the color of your skin. God is love. He loves all of us, no matter what we look like, where we've been, but God loves all of us. We've all made mistakes. We've all sinned and come short of the glory of God, but he loves all of us regardless. We serve a God that has all power in his hands, regardless of what's going on in the world and what's going on across the country. Still, there is a God that loves us regardless, and he will never leave us alone. We got to listen to the word of God. I cannot come here today without hearing the word of the Lord. I can't turn left or turn right, not unless God tells me what I need to do. Not one of you will lose your life. I love this story about the ship as they were sailing, and it looked like the ship was going to be torn. It was torn apart, but the word said you will not lose your life. I want you to know, no matter how the devil comes against you, whether he comes from the top, from the bottom, from the left, or to the right, you will not lose your life, because God said we are the head and not the tail. He is the beginning and the end, that we are overcomers, that no matter what comes our way, it says to shout now, because the battle may not be over, but we can still shout, because we know in the end we are going to win. We serve a God that allows us to be winners when it looks like we're losing. He causes us to be healed when it looks like I'm sick. He causes us to be happy when it looks like I'm going through a sad situation. We don't understand the mind of God. The one thing I have to do is know that God is God regardless of what I see, regardless of what I see naturally. But when I hear the voice of the Lord, I can see that help is on the way. Oh my God, he's a mighty God. In the midst of our storm, God will send an angel. He'll send an angel to remind you, Revival Tabernacle. He will remind you of your assignment. He will remind you that he's here with you, will never leave you. He's here, Revival Tabernacle, to know this is a place of healing, that this is a place of miracles, this is a place of deliverance, this is a place of forgiveness, this is a place where God dwells. Don't get weary in well-doing. I'm here to tell you that God will show up. If we just stay faithful to the word of God, he will show up. God is going to reward your faithfulness. God is going to turn things around. As Mother sang that song, hallelujah, it was powerful. And you wonder how she made it to 86. It's because she knows how to sing that song in the midst of her trouble. When her bones get to aching, she just begins to sing the song and knowing that God is her help and her strength. Why friends, trying to pretend that they're trying to help you, pretending that they're going to be out for your best. Just like when they were on the ship, they're pretending that they were going to let the boats down because they wanted to get rid of some of the weight, but they were going to take the boats and get out of there themselves. God will give you a spirit of discernment to know how to recognize manipulators, how to recognize liars and backbiters and evildoers. That God will give you the spirit how to deal with them. Practice self-care. You've got to take care of yourself. Prophesy to your situation that whatever I'm in, I've got to prophesy and know that I will come out. How do I prophesy? You can prophesy to yourself to say, I'm coming out of this. I may be shipwrecked, but I'm holding on to the planks. I'm coming out of this. You will have more than you ever asked for. You've got to look in the mirror and say, you're going to have more than you ever asked for. You've got to look in the mirror and say, prophesy to yourself and say, I am healed in the name of Jesus. You have to look in the mirror, prophesy and say, I am a child of the living God. I am a winner. Greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world. The soldiers made plans to kill Paul and his friends, but I want you to know that people will try to destroy you while you're in your storm. I'm in a shipwreck, but I'm holding on to the planks. I'm holding on to what's left. We lost the founder of this church. We've lost Bishop Hill. We've lost him. He's gone on to glory, but I'm holding on to his vision. But I'm holding on to the work. I'm holding on to what he's already put in place. I'm holding on to the pastor that he said yes to. I'm holding on to the place, meaning that it's not over until God says it is over. Oh my God, people will try to discourage you. People will try and come against you because they don't know the blessings of God that are on your life. There's so many people that are jealous. How'd you get that? How'd you do that? Don't worry about it. All I do is love God. All I do is worship God. And it just happens. Oh my God. I'm just faithful to the word of God and I get promoted. I'm just faithful to God and my rent is paid. I don't know how, but I just serve God. Don't worry what people will say or do. All I got to worry about, am I in the will of God? God, am I doing your will? Desire for change, knowledge for change, ability. I've got to be able to move in the things God has for me. The goal of building awareness is that I got to be aware of my situation. I could have looked at that ship with Paul and said, the ship is destroyed. The ship has been broken. Oh, there's nothing left. But Paul had a mind to say, but there's still some planks left. There's still some planks. Let's hold on to the planks. I don't know where these planks are taking us, but it's something I can hold on to. Sometimes when you're in a storm, all I need is something I can hold on to. Oh my God, you got a report from the doctor, but I'm holding on that God said, by his stripes I am healed, and I'm going to hold on to the word of God. No matter what, all I need is something to hold on to. They may say your house is going into foreclosure, but the Bible said he will supply my every need, and that's what I'm going to hold on to. I got to hold on to something. Your heart may be broken. They might have ripped your heart apart. You might have been betrayed, but you got to hold on to something to get you through the storm. I didn't know where the pipe was going. I know I want to get there, but all I got is my faith in God. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for and things not seen. I don't see it, but my faith says it's going to be all right. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. I'm holding on in the morning. I'm holding on today. Don't let go to what you have left. Whatever you got left, use it for the glory of God. Jesus, when he had the napkin, Bishop Hannah shared this on Thursday morning at the convention, summer convention at the PAW 2019, this convention, and he was sharing that Jesus, before he was done, he would wipe his mouth and throw the napkin. It was a tradition, Jewish tradition, that he would throw the napkin on the table and it would say, I'm done. I'm done. But on the night before Jesus went to be crucified, they looked and saw that the napkin was still folded up. Folded up as a sign to say, I may go on off to glory, but I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. He left the napkin folded saying that I'm not done yet. So I want to encourage Revival Tabernacle that the founder may be gone to glory. God is not done yet. God is not done yet. With Revival Tabernacle, God has brought this great man by way of Atlanta, Georgia, this first lady to Vancouver, Washington, to do a work, and I can see the prosperity of the work being done in this place. Thank you for the good work that you are doing. Everything you do is not in vain. You will see that those planks are going to lead you to shore. Hold on to the planks. God is going to bless you as never before. So I praise God for you. Praise God for this church. I told you I wasn't going to preach a long time.